top 10 teams on a Tuesday.
Wow.
We're here at week 11.
Bills lost.
Bills lost. Eagles lost to the Commanders.
Sweet.
Chiefs
No
won.
more. Chiefs won. Any more teams?
That's all I want. I just want to start some controversy right off the bat.
Movers this week. There was a few teams that had some big jumps and falls.
Oh, boy.
All right.
And there was some teams that did not move at all. That
Number
rhymed.
10?
Like number 10, the Jets. Bye week, they did not
He's
move.
getting fancy. He's putting the records on here now.
10
He
weeks.
says, hold on, let me remember how these teams are doing.
Yeah, the Jets number 10. Honestly, it was very tough not to move them.
Up or down?
Why didn't you do it then?
Down.
Okay.
Down.
Because there's
They
other
beat the
teams. Well,
Bills.
that's the thing with the bye weeks. They didn't do anything to go up or down.
Yeah.
But there were teams that were below that I was like, okay.
Okay. All right.
But there was a team that was below them that did go up.
No way.
And that's the Giants.
Wow.
They go up 2 to
Okay.
number 9. They're a 7-2 team. I can't.
Yeah.
The debate of if they're good or not is kind of over in my opinion. They're 7-2.
Wow.
They're a top 10 team.
Yeah, I agree.
But are they actually a top 10 team?
Why? Yeah.
I mean, they're 7-2. I agree.
And
I
they're
don't see
beating
how you
they're
don't
they're
have-
beating good
They'll be
opponents.
out
Like
in the first round of the playoffs, everybody. Remember
Are we
that.
talking about the playoffs?
They'll be out in the first round of the playoffs, everybody.
There's going to be a lot of
Could be.
teams around the first round of the playoffs.
yeah. Every year. Every year there is. I was gonna pull up the record, but like the teams that they've beaten
They're
just have been
7-2.
impressive.
They're 7-2.
I
Yeah, but
I was gonna bring up their schedule.
It's pretty easy.
It's pretty easy.
It's pretty
Who
easy.
they
They
just
beat the Ravens.
Texans.
They beat the Texans.
Beat the Titans.
Beat the Titans. I wouldn't say it's terribly easy.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna. I don't think you can dog on the Giants too hard. I mean,
Not
Do you
dogging on 'em.
Do you still think they're a fraud team?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Do you think them beating the Texans is really going to change my mind?
I just
no.
find see for me like I like this team more than the Titans. I see both teams being a first round exit, the Titans and the Giants.
I don't love
but
the Titans.
I like the Giants
I
more than
never loved the Titans.
I don't know. You guys were fighting for it pretty hard.
For a week, whenever they deserved it. Never loved
I
them.
wouldn't hate putting the Giants over the Titans. I thought about it.
But did he?
Number 8, the Cowboys. They dropped down 3 spots.
Wow.
For losing the Packers.
Losing to the Packers.
Oh, wait, hold on. One sec. Back's itchy.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Wow.
They lost to the Packers. They are 6-3,
6-3.
and there's a lot of 6-3 teams on this list.
Is that a popular record?
The
this season?
Steelers.
Very-
Another 3-6. Never mind.
Yeah, that's
Got
not
him.
good.
Got himself.
The Cowboys are. Yeah, you got the Cowboys in the right spot. I think.
I'm not too high on the I mean, I like their defense throughout the season. They're not. I mean, they're still good, but their run defense is god awful.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
offense, Dak, So yeah, it's good. All right.
Number
what happens
set-
if they get
oh.
Odell though?
Dak will still be the quarterback, so that changes nothing for me.
Wow.
Number 7, the Titans. Same spot. They beat the Broncos. It wasn't impressive.
I don't know if I can get down.
You have the Titans too high.
Yeah,
I think I would still have the Cowboys
yeah.
over the Titans.
I would too.
Cowboys over the
Giants probably
Titans.
over the Titans.
I don't hate that. 7, 8, and 9 were pretty
The
much
Jets over the Titans, dude.
I would have the Titans at number 10.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah.
if they would be in my top 10. I'd have to
Wow.
look at all these teams, but
I would not have them. I would the lowest I would take them is at
Probably
9.
have them at 7.
Huh?
You would probably have them at 7.
Yeah, no, I do. I'm saying the lowest I would have them is at 9. I could get down with the. I could get to, actually, you know what? I could get down with the Jets being over them. But again, all 6-3 teams. Jets had a bye week, so you couldn't really do anything there. Titans did win, so I have them at 7. They didn't move.
Fair play. Fair play.
Joe's Googling something.
No, I'm just looking at other teams.
He's saying
real quick.
how to move Titans down.
Oh.
Numero 6. The Ravens. They had a bye week. Didn't move.
Wow. That hits different.
There's a lot of non-movement. You're
There's a
right.
lot of
You're
non-movement.
right. A lot of 6 and 3s. You're also right about that.
Yup. So number 5.
Yeah, sure.
Things started getting heated up there. The Bills.
Oh!
Wow, they're dropping down for you.
6
Ow!
and 3. This week showed me that the Bills are not the team that I thought they were. I thought they were this unstoppable force, a next level above everybody else. In the last few weeks, their
It's all
true
Josh
colors have
Allen's
shown.
fault, too.
Josh Allen, I think he leads.
He leads the league in interceptions now.
Yeah,
Let's go,
that's-
Kenny
yeah.
Pickett. You're no longer in last.
He's like in 4th. I seen it this morning. Davis Mills has 9 and somebody else
Nice.
has 9.
I think the past 2 games he hasn't gone too many.
Yeah.
He also played way
Yeah,
less
I'll-
games.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He also has the most like interceptions in the red zone. Actually, no one even comes close to him.
That's right. Josh Allen, come to Atlanta. I'll give you a hand.
He is. Yeah, I know. I'd take it too. But
I'll say one of the best
he
things
is
you've
blowing their
done.
games.
Yeah.
One of
You're
the best things that you've done so far this year was put the Bills at 4 last week. That was one of the best things you've done.
Thank you.
That was one of the most impressive things you've done.
Thank you. Yeah.
So
I mean,
congratulations.
they
Yeah.
freaking they lost to the Vikings
2 in a row.
2 in a row.
I don't know what to say. I'm not gonna. I mean,
I'm still
my
not
gosh,
like,
he took a freaking absolute miracle for the Vikings to win, but the Vikings won. So like,
I'm still not like lost on the Bills. I'm sure you guys
No,
are
I'm not either,
Heck
but-
no. Like
No.
I honestly feel like this isn't gonna hurt them in any way. I think they're still gonna be the number 1 seat in the AFC. Truthfully, And I still think
I
they're
don't
gonna do
know.
well.
I don't know.
I don't know
Chiefs,
about all
man.
that.
They-
Chiefs are
yeah,
coming
Chiefs
up.
maybe.
The
They did beat the Chiefs, so they
They
got
beat
some
the Chiefs,
catching up to
yeah.
do. But
again, it really showed that they're beatable. They make mistakes, and the Vikings are able to capitalize on it. So are the Jets. If teams capitalize on these mistakes, they're not gonna win.
Yeah, and I mean again, like every team looks at this team as the top dog right now. So it's like any team that plays them
Well,
wants
not
to
anymore.
win.
I don't think anymore.
You don't think anymore? You don't think teams want to beat them anymore as badly as they did before?
Not as much as teams want to beat other teams. Like, the
what if they don't get a
Chiefs.
chance to play them though?
What if they don't get a chance to play the Bills?
But I'm saying the teams that play the Bills look at them as like a top dog. They really want to show up
I
and
mean,
beat them.
sure. They're not the top dog anymore though.
no.
Hot dog. Number 4, the biggest move this week.
We have freaking 3 teams from the East in the top 10. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I agree with it, but that's crazy. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? The Dolphins beat the Bills earlier in the season, and they have won their last 2 games. Or wait, 3
Actually,
games.
There's 6 teams from the
Oh, wait.
East in this top 10 if you think about it.
3 games.
AFC and NFC.
Huh? That's even crazier.
Yeah, you're right.
Is this the best division in football?
6 out of the 10 teams
Yes.
are in the East.
I think
yeah,
it is.
Yes.
probably.
Yes.
Patriots are 1 step behind them.
Patriots.
beat the Jets,
Patriots are fighting
right?
for number 10.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Teams above 500. Pretty crazy.
The Dolphins' offense is
Crazy good.
Spin up, baby.
I mean, is it the best? Is it the best offense?
Yeah.
It's
maybe.
they have the best wide receivers, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 of their receivers are in the top 5 of the league. So, I
Yep.
mean, that's
Tua's playing amazing.
dang. I would
Tua's
say,
been playing
yeah,
amazing.
they probably do have the best offense in the league, man.
Are they not super pass heavy though?
They are.
The
Their
NFL
running
is
back
pass
is-
heavy.
They are, but it's
You have to
It's
have a
working.
little bit of a
well
run
they
game.
they had a run game this last game against the Browns. They did.
A lot of that was because they were up by a ton of points. Just naturally run the ball out, but I don't know. They're one of the best offenses in the NFL, if not the best. Not one of the better run games though.
Their
No.
schedule.
At some point, you're gonna have to really be able to.
Well, look at the Bills. They're pass
Sure.
heavy too. Look what they're doing.
Yeah.
Their schedule: Texans, 49ers, Chargers, and then they play the Bills, which I'm excited to see that second game against the Bills.
I think they're unfortunately going to lose that game. I think they're going to split. It's going to 1-1.
We'll see how maybe Josh Allen's arm breaks by then.
That'd be cool. But only for that game.
I'd be upset if he's not in the playoffs. I'll actually be upset.
If Josh Allen,
Josh Allen gets hurt and the Bills are done for the year because he's hurt. For the
Oh.
year. I would actually be upset.
yeah, Yeah, that would be a pretty
Who's
big
their,
vibe killer.
Who's their backup?
Case Keenum.
Case Keenum.
Case
But if the
Keenum.
Chiefs played the Bills in the playoffs and Josh Allen wasn't the quarterback,
Yeah.
come on.
Yep. Number 3. Did not move. 8-1 Vikings. You don't like that, Joe?
No, because the Eagles freaking dogged on them.
The Eagles
Granted, that was
dogged
a
on
long
them.
time ago.
Yeah, the Eagles dogged on him, and the Chiefs are still the Chiefs.
Chiefs. Number 2.
7-2.
Chiefs. Number 1.
Oh well, what?
Eagles.
7-2 Chiefs.
Do you not like that, Tommy?
No, actually I don't.
You don't
The
like
Chiefs
that.
number 1.
Yeah.
Chiefs number 1. I don't
Yeah.
hate it either.
And yeah,
They're both very
That's
comparable.
tough. That's
and honestly, like if this is a power ranking, do you consider this a power rankings or what do you consider
It's
this?
TJ's
here?
top 10 teams on Tuesday.
This
That's
is
what
pretty
it
much
is.
power rankings. Like with the Eagles losing and the Vikings winning against what was your like number 1 team, like I actually don't know how the Vikings aren't above the Eagles. They both have the same record.
Yeah.
And the Vikings just came off of their most impressive win of the season,
That's
and
true.
the Eagles just lost their first game. So I would actually have the Vikings over them.
You don't think that's too
And
quick?
the Chiefs at number 1.
Oh, you'd have the Chiefs at wait.
Chiefs at number 1, then Vikings.
You'd
then
have the
Eagles.
Chiefs at number 1. You wouldn't put the Vikings over the Chiefs though.
No. What did the Chiefs do wrong?
What did
I've
the
had
Vikings
Chiefs,
do?
I had the
What-
Chiefs above the Vikings.
Yeah,
all
but what did the
season.
Vikings do wrong? They have a better record and they won against a more impressive team this week. So why
But-
wouldn't they? If this
but-
is a week-to-week basis power ranking, then why wouldn't they be over the
The
Chiefs?
Chiefs won, and you and
So
I.
did the
and I think
Vikings.
everybody here had the Chiefs above the Vikings all season. So
Yeah.
it wasn't the Vikings. It wasn't that impressive.
No, but with
The only thing you could look
the
at is
Vikings win wasn't that impressive.
I mean, it was a good win, but it was no.
The only thing you could look at is if you would-
It was a miracle that they won that game.
if you would argue
Okay,
putting the
time.
Vikings over.
Yeah,
It
hold on.
was. Are you kidding
not
me?
a
That wasn't a
miracle.
miracle. They won that game.
That was not
Okay,
a
you're
miracle.
looking. What are you just like looking at that snap at the end that was fumbled?
The
They
Justin
were down
Jefferson
by 17
catch.
points. That's
the
still-
fumble at the end.
That's
That right there
Josh
is
Allen
everybody
doesn't-
is literally calling it a miracle.
Josh Allen doesn't make one of those turnovers. They win that game.
Sure.
I'm not going to dog on the Vikings for stepping up and coming back from 17 down.
That wasn't a miracle that they won that game.
no. That was not a miracle that they won that game.
Seriously.
No, but I'm not going to knock that on them.
I'm not knocking that on them.
Kind of seems like it. You're
I'm not.
saying that wasn't that impressive of a win. You're saying it was like to me that's still an impressive.
The Bills
win.
had that game locked in the bag.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's
They had
super
it locked in the
impressive.
bag. It took a Justin Jefferson greatest catch of all time, which is just like that defender is freaking terrible for that. And then Josh Allen, who's been getting turnovers all game, like that should have been the end of the game there too.
So-
Kirk Cousins had 2 picks that game also. I mean, they
So
were
sure,
what-
I'm just saying that was in. I'm
So
not
how-
knocking
you-
them
you
for
literally
it. I'm
just
saying
gave-
it's not like they like. It's another game because we've seen it from the Vikings every single time. They have to do something in the fourth quarter. They're the best fourth quarter team in the NFL. They always manage to figure something out at the end of the
pretty
fourth quarter.
important. It's pretty good skill.
Sure, but where are they at before that? I'm not dogging on them. I
71.
have them
You
as my
are
number
dogging.
2 team.
You literally are dogging on them. You're saying, well, it was only Justin
no,
Jefferson
because
and
you're
Josh Allen had to.
insane if you don't think that was a miracle. They won that game.
I don't think it was a miracle that they won that
That's
game.
great. That is ludicrous.
I don't
if you
think it's.
that was a miracle,
I don't
they
think it's a
won.
miracle that a 7-1 team beat a 6-2 team.
No, it's not. That's not what I'm saying.
That's exactly what you're
did you
saying.
did you watch the game and see how it played out?
Yes, I did.
That wasn't like they didn't. That was not a miracle at all that they won that game.
No.
You're crazy. All right, that's.
I-
I don't. Think
I'm
they should
crazy
be
for
put
thinking-
down because of that though.
I have them ahead of him. I have them as my number 2 team.
Yeah, but it seemed like you were saying how it wasn't impressive. You said at first it wasn't that impressive because it was a miracle. Just don't dog on it because it was a miracle win.
It's not a super dominating game against the Buffalo Bills. It was a
You-
game I'm like, wow, the Vikings
Nobody's gonna
escaped
dominate.
again.
Nobody's going to dominate.
Wow, the Vikings escaped again. They continue to do it.
Well,
They're
then
my number 2
You can
team.
say
don't
you can
like
say that
that.
the
It's
Jets win was a miracle win.
Which one?
Against the Bills.
Sure. They're down at number 10, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
But I'm saying like last week, it's like why move them up then? Because there was a miracle win.
bro, all I'm saying is the Vikings won.
Vikings
the
won.
Eagles lost.
Yep.
The Vikings for me are ahead of the Eagles. The Chiefs, who all of us here, all of us, the whole season have had the Chiefs above the Vikings. What did the Chiefs do wrong to bump the Vikings up?
The only
what the
reason why
Vikings
you
did
can
was
have-
what I'm saying is what the Vikings did was not good enough to bump them over the Chiefs.
They
It
beat-
wasn't that impressive to bump them over the Chiefs.
They beat the number 1 team for the first 6 weeks in a row. How is that not impressive?
The only
That's
reason
more
why you
impressive
can
than the
argue
Chiefs
that the
win.
Vikings would be above the Chiefs is because the Vikings beat the Bills and the Bills beat the Chiefs. That's your
Yep.
biggest selling point. I agree with you. I think the Chiefs should be ahead of the Vikings still.
Yeah.
But that's the only
And
thing.
I
you can
have 'em
argue
ahead
What
of
the
them.
saying
Vikings
that.
did was not impressive enough to bump them over the Chiefs.
Yeah, okay.
Is
I
that
know what you're
crazy?
saying.
Like,
It's
that is
not.
not crazy at all.
I agree with you. I literally have the same thing.
But you're laughing over here. Like,
Because
that's
you're
insane.
saying that the Eagles should bump down to number 3.
Okay, does anybody disagree with that here? Or how
I
do you
get
guys
where you're
feel
coming
about
from.
that?
I get where you're coming from.
It was-
This is a power rankings.
I-
You got to look at the team that just lost and the team that just
Yeah,
came
but
off their
look,
best win
yeah,
of the
but no,
season.
if we're gonna
You're
break down the Vikings game, we better break down the Eagles game because that was a very close game the whole way through.
Okay, it was first off, it was the Washington football team.
Okay,
Second
but
off,
then again,
Jalen
it doesn't
Hurts
matter about
could
the
not
team.
throw
It's
the
the
ball the
Commanders.
entire game until the weigh-in when he's getting garbage yards.
But he was doing it all season up until now. They're undefeated.
Second of all, it's Taylor Heineke who outplayed Jalen Hurts in that game, arguably.
Okay.
And then it's the Vikings who just beat the Bills.
Exactly.
Exactly. It's recency. It's what happened now. What has happened now? Both teams have the same record. The Eagles lost. The Vikings won. Why would the Vikings not be ahead of them?
Because the loss to the Commanders was a close game. It was a very close game, down to the wire.
Is it a loss or is it a win?
It was a loss.
Okay. And what did the Vikings
Yeah,
do? Win
but
or
even
lose?
though it was a close game, it was against a pretty bad team.
It was against a pretty bad team. And the Vikings beat a pretty good team. I mean, yeah, if you go by week, but
It's not
look
just week by week. This is the whole season. Both teams have the same
okay, so
record.
whole season. If we're going whole
Who's the
season,
hotter
then,
team
if
right
we're going
now?
hotter team is the Eagles.
They just lost. How can they be hotter? That
Because
doesn't even make
they
sense.
were
How many
undefeated
games in a row
up
have the
until this
Vikings
point.
won?
The same amount as the Eagles.
The Eagles have won 0 games in a row.
They've won 8.
0 games in a row.
Okay, then the Vikings won 1. So we're looking at
Even
this.
if they did win
So are
only
we
one in
looking
a
at
row,
this as the 0-1 team versus a 1-0 team? Is that how you're looking at this? You're trying to justify ways to
Did
look
the
at it
Vikings
from.
lose last week? Or am I tripping? Did
I
they?
don't know.
Vikings last time they lost was to the Eagles. Was back in week
Yeah. So
Two
So
or
they're
3 or
literally on
something
like
like
a 7-game win streak.
Okay,
right now.
same thing with the Eagles.
No,
dog.
they're on a 0-game win
Dude,
streak.
why are you saying they're okay? How are you gonna
Are
say?
they not?
How are you gonna-
the Vikings not
No,
a hotter
Yeah,
team?
they're
How
right
are you
now?
gonna say that the Vikings are on a 7-game win streak and the Eagles are on a 0-game win streak?
Is that how freaking dog? Look at it right now. How many games in a
don't
row
know
have the
what's
Eagles
happening right
won?
now.
Huh?
0.
Yeah,
Am I not wrong?
Yes, I know.
The
How many
Eagles have
games
won
in a row have the
8
Vikings won?
games.
7. But it's over because they lost.
Oh, you're talking about
Win streak.
now.
Win
Oh,
streak.
win streak.
Yes.
Oh, after this week.
Yes.
Oh, dude, I thought you were talking about the Commanders this whole time.
Glad we clarified that.
Where do you guys have the Vikings? Where do you have the Chiefs? And where do you have the Eagles? We'll see you next week on Tuesday.
Bye.